Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on stage 95 of the Alien Xenomorph from Agora Models. Here's the bag. You can see it's got some damage as the others have. The last box, I think it was shipment 13, had a lot of broken corners on the bags because it was all stuffed inside and large pieces. So far, this is the only odd bit. This replaced one of the other brackets. Who knows? Maybe it'll show up later. And then here on the back is where it's got more breaks. But let me get the parts out and we will build this. So let's double check. Screws, and I feel something, I think, in this corner. Okay, that should be everything in there. So we have two more pieces of the thorax. What do they call them? Inner thorax 1 and 2. We have shoulder cartilage 1 and 2, left and right shoulder cartilage. We have a brace piece, or connector piece actually, and we have 2 packs of screws. So let's see, is there any way? There is, that the 2.3 and the 2.6 millimeters are different from each other. Visually easy to see. So there's 9 of these. These are the 2.3. Get those out. Make sure there's 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's 5 of these. And always when there's an odd number of screws because there's 1 spare in each pack. I like that they do that. Some models that I'm building, they do not give you a spare. That's the way it is on ET. If you lose a screw, you don't have that screw anymore. They're doing this pack a little bit different. Now, if you lose the screw on the ET build, you have to let them know and then wait for the pack or the shipment to come in. And with the shipping issues that they've had over the last year that Fan Home has had, who knows when they're going to show up. On the other hand, Agora is fantastic. I have never had a problem with their shipping. Unless it goes through Chicago, and then it's not their fault that when it goes to Chicago, it takes 10 days minimum in customs, but it's consistent. And that was on the Alien. They shipped it through Chicago. They actually started towards the end of my Alien build, or not Alien, and I said Alien. At the end of my Terminator, they stopped shipping from Florida because I don't know what kind of issues they were having, but they started shipping directly from the UK. And so going through customs in Chicago was always a 10-day affair. It turned out to be a 28-day turnaround on each of the issues. But 28 days for shipping from the UK, while it is a little bit long, you knew exactly where the pack was every time. And it was consistent. From the first time it took 28 days to the last pack that I got. 28 days was standard. It did not change. I didn't have to sit there and wonder. I didn't have them ship quote unquote parts and then nothing move for 2 months until they finally reshipped. And speaking of which, it's really kind of funny because my RoboCop, I contacted them about my October shipment a month later, they reshipped. And then when it finally moved, the one that they reshipped never even got a label. The original one got shipped and showed up after almost 30 days from the reshipment. So, little bit salty about Fan Home and their shipping practices. So, getting the last screw in here. I think this one is not quite all the way down. Yeah, it was popping a little bit. Let me double check on these. I was using the PHO instead of the PH1. There we go. So there you see all the connectors for the base are in place, and that's what the base looks like so far. I believe this is 1/3 of the base, might be 1/4. I'm not positive. Based on 3 across here, I'm guessing it's 1/3. Don't see anywhere for the pole to mount that'll actually hold the alien up, but we'll see how it goes further on down in the build. So let me set this out of the way and we'll work on the rest of the thorax. Okay, so down here, oh, I need to go and get other pieces. So I will be right back after I get the ribs and other pieces to the build, and we will continue on. Okay, back in pack 6, stage 42, we put this together temporarily. No screws in the back here. So they want us to take these parts apart. Just take that off. And take the sternum off here. Just basically taking the ribs apart into 2 separate sections of ribs. I didn't bring any barbecue sauce, and there's a problem that I'm having getting it off. Let's get this underneath here where it belongs and hopefully not break anything. There we go. Let's not break anything. We'll set these aside like that. Apologize if you hear the dog. Matter of fact, let me pause real quick and go talk to him about his barking. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Apollo and I discussed whether he was going to sit out there and bark or not, and we both agreed that he doesn't need to. He came in, had breakfast, got a treat, and has since gone upstairs. So the next thing we have to do is bring these parts back over. There's a lot going on in this stage, by the way. So we're going to bring these parts back over, and I'm just looking to see which side are we working on. This one. Hey, look at that. They're picking the one that has both brackets on it. And then we take this. I'm just looking, figuring out which one goes where. Do not see a letter on here, but I do believe that pushes in like that. Test fit 2 pegs, right shoulder. Sockets is shown. Be sure you have good fit. Note the contact areas and glue firmly in place. So I'm not going to glue it up here. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to glue it there, and I'm going to run a bead along this edge right here. The glue currently is not set up for it. Kind of not set up. It's closed right now. Make sure the hole is actually open down into the bottle. There we go. So I'm going to, hopefully, nope, that's closed. Going to take this. There we go. These are really nice. These little tips or glue tips that you can get. The only problem is, and the glue does not really stick to the tip. Problem is doesn't stick to the tip, but it's really hard to get out. And you see right there, I have a plug of glue in that tip. And that is, these are actually about a long, about another inch, inch and a half longer usually. I've had to cut that off. But they're great to make sure that you put your glue in the right spot. Let me make sure I've got the right one. And I make sure I'm putting it in the right way. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna go in there like this. Come on, get back in there. It went in so well the first time. Now that I'm getting ready to actually do it for real, it's like, I don't wanna. This is probably gonna be the best way to do it. To actually, no. I wanna run the bead of glue along this lip right here. Just like this, come on. And now it's playing a game with me. It does not want to flow there either. Let's try this again. It's almost. And that's the other problem, is that these nozzles on here get clogged. And the problem when you push it down in there like that is that you're pushing whatever's dried down into the bottle. Come on. So we're just going to put a bead here along this edge. We're going to start back the other side here like this. And then we're going to put a little bit around here. And the other problem with this glue is a little bit thicker. It's not quite a gel, but it's a little bit thicker. And so when I pull away from things, it does what I call strings. It makes little strings of glue. Let's see if we can get this in here without getting glue all over everything. And so pushing it in like that. Right now you can see the glue. Once the shoulder is actually together, you're not going to see that. Let me see what it says after that. So once you have this, you take this. I have to figure out which one it is. It's got to be this one. You take that, and this piece right here. Like I said on the other one, it's not going to matter because actually it might a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, because right there, there's nothing going across there. So I will probably move the bracket, this bracket on the other one. It goes on there like this. And this will actually corresponding. Usually two of the screws like this. Okay, so we take these two of these screws here. And we will put them here. Now, I know I skipped over that. I will show these two screw sockets here in a second, and I'll show it on the other piece as well. So you got these two holes here that the screws go into to tighten this together. So we'll take these two, we'll tighten them down like that. And on the other side of this piece, this is where those sockets are, what they look like. Okay, so we put those in there. And then we take the right rib cage here. And it says to fit it on here. Looking, it's going to go on. It says like this. That doesn't seem right. Oh, dopey me. Okay. Sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to put these into these holes. That's not what you're doing. You've got these posts here. Those are going to go on here. And then let me see. They've got this like this. They've got these ones down here. So it is going to go on here. Just like that. That is fantastic. And we have 3 posts in here and then 2 with little dots on top. I'm willing to bet that's where the screws are going to go. Yep, that's where the screws go. And honestly, I do not read ahead on these. I read it as I build it. Probably not the smartest way to do it, but it's the way I do it. So we're going to take these 2 screws, put them in here like this, and tighten it all the way down. These are not countersunk screws, so they will sit right on the top. Now that's going to be an interesting spot. They didn't say to leave it loose. We'll see what it does. So put them in there like that. And it goes on there just like that. Let me go back over here. Showing red line, secure 2 screws, insert thorax at either support. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So let's put this over here. Like I said, I feel like this piece here needs to be on the other side. The connector needs to be on the other spot because it's not braced very well right there. It works where it's at. I don't have to move it. I think it's just best to move it to the other side because where this piece is going to line up, it does not have a whole lot of support. It has no support, to be honest, without, I'm on the wrong spot, without the connector on this side. I'm sure it would have been fine. But since I did not get that connector, I'm going to work around it. Tighten this one down. There's that one. Come on, get into that screw. Again, it still fits on there pretty good. And see right here, I think that's the better way to do it because when it goes together, this piece is actually going to be right here. Where on this side, it doesn't really have anything supporting it. So let's fit this in here, same way as I did on the other side. I'm fitting it in there just to make sure that it will go, getting my spatial orientation about how it goes in here sorted out. So it's going to go in there just like that. We're going to take this back out. I'm going to run a bead of glue along this edge. Unless, of course, the glue has stopped up again, which is what, nope. Almost, yeah. I think I got to take that out and take the nozzle off and clean that up. So we'll go along here. That. A on each of these posts so that if I ever have to take this apart again, I can't. And there, right there's a perfect example of what I talked about before with the glue stringing. Laid a string across there when I went from side to side. Come on. Get in the hole. There we go. Feels like I got a little bit more glue on this side than I did on the other. And I push it together like that. Let it sit for a minute. Well, I grab a paper towel here. See if I can get the excess off, because right now it's not flowing back down. And I'm going to take a real quick look here. Let's see. Not clogged there. Okay. Right now we'll leave that sit. Hopefully it'll drain out a little bit. That's why I do it the way I do, is it lets it drain a little bit. I leave it sit there for a few minutes while I'm doing other things. So back to this. So we're going to take these sockets, or these pins, put them into these sockets, just like that. Then we're going to take two of these 2.3 millimeter wide screws. We're going to put one there, get it started, and put the other one here. Tighten it down all the way. Come on, thought you were threaded. You should be threaded, as a matter of fact. There we go. It suddenly didn't want to play, and then all of a sudden, it suddenly, as I was driving it, went all the way down. That's in place. Got glue on my finger. Okay, let's take a look. That's right. The instructions say to take this part here. It is going to look exactly the same but different as the other side. We're going to drop these 5 posts into these 5 sockets. Last 2 are covered over. Screws are going to go into them. We're going to take these last 2 screws here, and we're going to put them into these holes. There's one. There's the other, not started yet. Should be now going in. Looking over here, it is slowly draining down. The last little bubble of glue just came out of the top. The rest should be... No, it looks like... I love this stuff. Let's try this again. We'll just put the needle in there and hope. The pin into both, because actually it is got more glue. When you do this, it is not going to keep your glue from drying in the tube. That's why you want to make sure you've got it up just a little bit so that you're able to grab a hold of it with something and pull it loose. Okay, this is all there is to do in this stage. It says, right, okay, I've got it on the opposite side. It's going to go together like this eventually. We've got this part here left over. And this part here, fantastic progress on this. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy to see the Xenomorph coming together. Hope you're enjoying this build. If you are, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified about when I post new content. Leave a comment. I will respond. I love comments. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you on the next video and or stream.
Buckman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Buckman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden